Hello everyone. Welcome to a different part of my bedroom. Um I'm sorry I cannot video in front of my beautiful curtain because I have laundry that I need to put away. Realistic life of an 18-year-old. Um Today is Worship Wednesday and I told myself that I was going to do this early this week so I didn't have to stress about it, and I did not do that. So here we are again, very late. Um Today I feel like I need to do something a little bit different. So we're still going to worship God and we're still going to thank Him for all that He's done for us, but we're going to be doing it in a different way. And as I do it for my life, I would like you to do it as well. So lately, I've been going through some struggles with a lot of different things, a lot of challenges, a lot of bumps in the road, whether it's from a course at school or a friend or something like that. I've been going through some ups and downs. And I feel like sometimes the downs feel so heavy on us and so heavy on our hearts that we forget to be thankful for the small things that are the ups. So I'm going to tell you some of the downs and then some of the ups to that. Um, Recently, I'm gonna say this because I know my friend won't mind me saying it. Recently, I've had some struggles for the past few months with one of my very good friends, and I was kind of feeling lost and hopeless, I guess, for our friendship. A lot went on, a lot of things were misinterpreted, misunderstood, and we ended up picking up right where we left off when we finally got the opportunity to talk. Something in that moment, I felt terrible. I felt like it was my fault, but then I was also blaming it on her, and it was just a misunderstanding. And other people saw that um, between the two of us, we were changing the world, and I think people um, got jealous of that. So they tried to put the wedge between the two of us, but we decided that we were going to start where we left off, and it has been an amazing experience. And I feel like we're closer now than ever. We get each other on a different level, and we're very cautious when it comes to other people that we talk to. And even though that was a super down part of my life, so many good things came out of it. I was able to realize that no one will ever love me like Jesus will, and no one will ever promise me anything, and no one can ever keep a promise like Jesus can. So, whenever I'm looking for that validation in humans and people around me, I'm never going to find that because Jesus is the only one that can provide that for me. So, it really gave me that peace and that hope that I will have a friend forever. Um, it just won't be, I just won't be able to reach out and touch them. And that is something that I couldn't ask anything else for, because it was just a peace and an understanding that everything was going to be okay. And it really pushed me in my limits, because every time I would be upset about this situation or I didn't know what to do, how to um, further move along, I remember my mom would always tell me, she'd tell me that Jesus forgives us every time we sin, and we sin a lot, and everyone sins a lot. So Jesus does a lot of forgiving, and if Jesus can forgive me all of those times, surely I can forgive someone for something that they did to me. So I looked back on that, I looked back on my life, and I realized that not forgiving this person was going to be even worse um, than it would be to have gone through what I went through. So I'm really happy for that. I'm happy that it has brought us closer together, and we are looking forward to the future and all of the fun things that we're going to do. Um, it's also given me the sense of trust and realizing that I cannot expect every single person in my entire life to be my best friend. Even though I would love that and I would love to be best friends with everyone, that's not the reality of life. And sometimes being a friend to someone means being there for them whenever they have a hard time, and maybe one day they'll be there for you. So I've been blessed with so many friends in my life, and they've all taught me something different about myself or my life or my walk with God. And I'm so thankful for every single one of them. And that's something that I've been struggling with for the past 3 months. And I feel like going into the new year, I was just like, you know what? We're going to do this and it's going to be great. And it really has been. So that's one of the ups to it. It was really hard to find the positives in the moment and in the situation, but I'm so glad that I was able to find the positives, and it's really opened my mind up to a bunch of other different things that I've been thinking of. Something else is I am not good at math at all, and this year I took calculus, and if you're close enough to me to know that I absolutely hate it. I complain about it almost every day. I really struggle with it. I don't understand the concept. Most of the time, I don't understand the concept, and I really have to work extra hard for it. Um, Something that this has really taught me, and like I said, it's really hard to look at the positives and the lessons you learn whenever you're dealing with such a hard struggle. Like calculus, and it can be as little as calculus. It's a class that I'm hopefully gonna pass and never take again, and I'm gonna move on to college, and there's gonna be bigger things to worry about in life than a calculus problem. But in my moment right now, I think of the fact that calculus is one of those things where you have to persevere. And I think that applies calculus. This is going to sound so funny, but calculus is a lot like life. If you give up on one problem, you'll never find the answer. You'll never find the answer to what your life is supposed to be. If something gets hard in your life and you give up on that one problem, you'll never be able to feel the satisfaction of going through the entire page. If that makes any sense at all. It makes sense in my head. I don't know if it's making sense coming out of my mouth. It has also taught me the lesson of procrastinating. Our teacher gives us a lot of time to get our answers checked, get help. And the first marking period, I was not doing good with that. I was waiting until the last minute, and then I would come home and have a mental breakdown and cry to my mom that I did not know what I was doing and I didn't understand why I wasn't doing good and everybody else was. And I found out it was because I was waiting until the last minute and I wasn't receiving the help that was being offered to me. And I think that is a lot like our walk with Christ. I mean, God gives us a lot of opportunities to be loved and to love. And He gives us a lot of opportunities to do those types of things. And it's up to us to come up with the response to receive those opportunities and to run with them. I was actually watching a podcast by Sadie Robertson Huff. And if you never watched her, she is the girl from Duck Dynasty, and she has her own YouTube channel. She has her own podcast. It's called the Whoa That's Good podcast, and I absolutely love listening to her. She brings special guests on, and they really talk about things centered to high school to college people, and it's right in that area of relating things to your life and how they relate to that of your life with God. So I actually wrote down a few notes and I forgot to bring them over here. So I'm going to go grab them really quick and then I'll be right back. It'll be like 1 second. Okay, I'm back. All right. So she says, or no, not she, but this man that she had on here, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but his first name is Nick and his last name is Vujicic. Don't know how to pronounce that. But he was on Sadie Robertson's podcast, and he actually doesn't have any limbs. And I didn't know that until like halfway through the thing when he said, you know, people used to make fun of me because I didn't have arms and legs. And I was like, hold up. You mean to tell me you did all of this stuff without arms and legs? You swim without arms and legs. Like, it blew my mind because I had no idea. This man was traveling all over the world. He's speaking about Jesus. He's speaking about how God is so miraculous and God let him live on this earth with arms and legs. And I'm sitting here thinking, man, I am not doing what God has told me to do because this man is out there preaching with no arms, no legs, and I'm sitting in my room crying about a calculus problem. And in that moment, I thought to myself, what is my calling? And I started to actually focus on the podcast and what he was speaking. And some of the quotes that he said really just rocked me. So I'm going to share some of them with you. Like I said, these are not mine. I got them off this podcast. You should really go watch it. It's, if you look up Sadie Robertson and then Nick and then his last name starts with a V. I don't know how to say it, but it was amazing and I loved it. It's on YouTube, so you don't even have to pay for it. So the first thing he said was, if I don't get a miracle, I can still be one. Just let that sink in. If I don't get a miracle, I can still be one. So even if what God is asking you, or what you're asking God to do for you or do in your life, if He doesn't give that to you and He doesn't create that miracle, He created you. And you are a miracle. Everyone is a miracle. Everyone is designed to be on this earth and everyone is a miracle. So even if you don't get what you're praying for, you can still be the miracle that gives hope to someone else. You can have all of your limbs. You can be perfectly fine. But you can still be a miracle in someone else's life. You could be that miracle that keeps them alive, that keeps them wanting to live, the hope that there is a better tomorrow. So the second quote is, when we stand in front of the gates of hell in direct traffic, it gets really hot. And that really shook me because there are days where I am full force on God and I feel the enemy striking me. I can feel, if I'm telling someone about God and I'm telling them, you should come to church with me. If I'm inviting that person to church, that person can sometimes be stubborn, or someone tries to pull me out of that conversation. It's the enemy trying to take you away from leading people away from the gates of hell. And that is one of my new favorite quotes, because it does. It gets really hot. But God wouldn't send us to direct traffic if He didn't also send us angels to protect us from the heat. Jesus knows what we're going to get into. God knows if I'm going to save 5 people before I die. God knows if I'm going to go to school tomorrow and save someone and they're going to come to church with me. God knows that. And I fully believe God has put His angels around me in the fact that I want to change this world. And changing the world does not come without its problems, its issues, its threats, its everything. So that was a really good one. I love that one. I also really love this one. It says, until you're faithful with the little, He won't send you to the world. And many times I think to myself, or I just pray, or I write down and I say, God, I don't understand. I want to change the world. I don't want to change the 3 people that I have in front of me. But then I have to step back and think, if I can't change the world of the 3 people in front of me, how am I going to change the entire world? If God has called me to save 1 person on this earth, and I don't want to do that because it won't get me enough followers or it won't get me enough attention, I am not fulfilling God's purpose for my life. If God calls me to lead 1 person to Him, and I go out the opposite direction and lead 5 people to Jesus, sure, that's great, but that 1 person was what God called me to do. That 1 person is why God put me on this earth. And that's my duty, is to go out and save that 1 person. Yes, those 5 people in heaven is going to be amazing. But if that one person isn't saved, did I really fulfill my duty as a child of God? So if I can't start with the little, the people the closest to me, the people that I say, "Oh, they'll get it sometime. I want to change the world." If I can't start with those people right in front of me, how am I ever going to be trusted to go into the whole world? So if you aren't not faithful with the little things, God won't send you to the world. And then the last quote that really struck me is God isn't going to do what you're supposed to do. If God sent you to this earth to do something, God is going to help you through it, but God's not going to lay it all out and say, do this, and then you finish. And then next, do this, and then finish. And then next, do this. God is going to push you to your limits to do what He has called you to do. And He's not going to do anything that you are supposed to do. He'll help you through it and guide you through it and guide you to that answer, to that ending, the resolution. But He's not going to say, I'll just do it for you. I'll just do it for you. No. He wants to see our commitment. He wants to see our love and our caring spirits for Him. So whenever I was talking to my mom about what I was going to do today, and she gave me this idea to talk about the blessings in my life and to praise God in a different way, she also mentioned something that I never thought of. Isn't that what all moms do? But every morning this year, I've really been working on getting up every morning, getting up early, getting ready to my fullest potential so that I feel good, and I feel good on the inside, on the outside. I've really been working on that. And one of the things that I do is I get ready and then I go out, and for a half hour, I prioritize time to read my Bible. And a group that I'm actually in, some ladies from our church, they have put together a 1-year Bible study. So each day, the administrator goes in and she posts a clump of verses from the Bible for us to read. So by the end of the year, we will have read the entire Bible. And it's super fun, and I love it, and it's a great way to connect with the people around me. But that also comes with the fact some days I don't get up on time, and some days I'm just really tired. So I only get a little bit of it read. And I've come to the conclusion that that's okay that I do that, and it's okay that that happens. But something that I do that my mom thinks is really cool, and she really enjoys watching me do it, is I Bible journal. So if you don't know what Bible journaling is, it's where you take what you comprehend or something that stuck out to you, and you kind of twist it into something creative or artsy. So you journal about it. And I like to journal with my markers, and these are mild liner creative markers. They're by Zebra, and I love them because they don't bleed through on the pages of your Bible, because the Bible pages are really thin and they don't bleed through. You can still see them a little bit, but they don't bleed through to the point where you can't use the other side. So I know it's going to be backwards because of the way the camera is, but I just want to show you. This is what the first page of Matthew looks like. Some of these, like here, like this part right here, some of these are things that I have thought of while I'm reading the Bible, things that have stuck out to me. But as you go through, you'll kind of see that some of them are more creative. Like, see, this page doesn't have anything, and that's okay. Some days I get really motivated to do this, and other days I don't find anything in some of the parts that I'm reading. But it's an awesome way for me to kind of connect with my Bible and praise God through my Bible. And I love it, and I'm going to try and find. I have some good ones in here. This is one of my favorites. It says, "I trust you, Lord, let the light of your face shine on us." And I like to color them. I like to pull out little things that make me happy in the verse and kind of write it down. These are the Psalms. I love the Psalms. If you ever need anything to read or somewhere to start, I suggest a psalm a day. But as you can see, and it's like so random. It's just things that pop into my mind. They don't have to be perfect. But it's just things that pop into my mind that make me happy or make me think about it. This is one I did today, and this is the one I did this morning, and I absolutely love it. I know you can't see it. I'm sorry. It says, "In your presence there is fullness of joy." And this one I actually found on Pinterest. It was a yellow sunflower, and I saw it, and I was like, well, my color of the day is purple because I try and go in like a pattern order so that I like break them up into sections. So I just incorporated the purple, and it turned out so cool, and I love it. But sometimes I look up on Pinterest if I know it's a popular verse and I just need some inspiration for how to write it or how to draw or what to draw with it. I'll look up on Pinterest like Psalm 16 and this will pop up, and then some days I copy it, some days I create something new with the verse, something that resonates with me. It's really just your personal opinion, and it's something that I enjoy and something that helps me really focus on the Bible and what I'm actually reading. And this is getting really long, and I'm so sorry. I just have a lot to say, and usually I'm not like this. What am I saying? I usually am. But I really just wanted to share this, and this is a NIV Journal the Word Bible, so it actually has space on the side for you to journal. It also gives you prompts to think about while you read that section of the Bible. So if you have any questions about that, I would love to answer them or send you the link to the markers or the Bible that I have. Like I said, if you want, you can look up Bible journaling on Pinterest and a whole bunch of things, or on Google. It'll all come up, and really gives you an idea for kind of what it is and more ideas, I guess. But if you want to see any of my designs, I'd be happy to share them too. It's something that I enjoy doing, and I get really excited to open my Bible and do that. It's something that's really pulled me into the Word, so I'm really excited about that. And now I'm gonna go because it's getting really late, and this is a really long video, and I'm so sorry. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go get ready for bed and be ready for a great Thursday tomorrow. And I hope you all have a great rest of the week and that you enjoyed this little different Worship Wednesday. And as always, I love you, and you should love you too. Bye.